OK, let's bring Vicky Hyde in here. Look, Vicky, you've seen Ken. What is so wrong with what he's doing?
Well, we tend to think that the idea of the ends justifies the means is a morally bankrupt kind of argument. So the idea of, well, we're just bringing a bit of comfort, we're not doing any harm, I think is rather facile kind of justification. We've also managed to track all sorts of various aspects of harm, not just economic harm, but psychological and spiritual and even mental harm that can be done in these sorts of things. So people should be very, very wary. I mean, I've watched a lot of the raw footage from Ken, and I've watched what you presented tonight, and I'm sorry, but he looks just the same as all the others that are out there. And if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck and it swims like a duck, you've got to say, it's a duck. If this was a real story, I mean, the idea of life surviving after death is too important to allow it to be a matter of parlour games. It should be a big story on BBC, CNN, not here.
Parlour games, Ken?
She doesn't know what she's talking about, of course. So many people
well, they're
don't
set
know
up
what...
for the seance,
No,
for
let me
example.
finish. You've had your say. Just a minute. Be quiet. Now, what do you mean when you say you're a sceptic?
I say that if you're going to claim that you can actually prove there is life after death, show us the proof.
I do it every week.
Where is it?
I do it all of the time.
You haven't done it. You haven't done it under any kind of conditions that anybody who is neutral on the idea
oh yes, we have lots of neutral
say,
people
yes,
all of
proof.
the time. You know, no, you're
give us the proof. There's no proof on your website.
Just a minute. Look,
There's
let me go back to square one. Have you ever taken the trouble to investigate mediumship?
Yes, often,
You have.
because
With
these
whom?
mediums
I
come
mean,
through
what
time and time
mediums have you
again,
actually
and you're
dealt
using
with?
this.
I mean, the only medium in the world that's
I
ever
have-
stood on Hyde Park Corner in Hyde Park, Speaker's Corner, and done clairvoyance for 3 hours in the rain and held a crowd of over 300. So don't tell me I don't know what
Well,
I'm
I wish-
talking about. Or that I'm fooling
I'm
people.
sure there's
I've been doing this work since
there's-
I was 17 years old. I've had over 60 years as a medium, and all my life I've served spirit and spiritualism, which actually is a religion in this country by Act of Parliament, which is more than you can say for Catholicism or for any other religion except the Anglican Church.
And that's because there was an MP at the time who was very keen on spiritualism and passed it in 1924. I know about that as
it wasn't
well.
an MP.
But really, what you...
One MP doesn't pass an Act of Parliament. Don't try and get away with that, for goodness sake.
No, but there was a very, very strong thing for it. And particularly at the time when you've got
Including
the 1920s,
one of your Prime
Harry
Ministers.
Houdini
Two of
saying...
your Prime Ministers.
Provide...
OK, Ken, look,
Yes.
Provide 10...
do you accept that there are
Stand
some
up,
people...
put up the evidence.
Are there some people within the movement who, if you like, are not genuine?
You were talking about psychics, not mediums. Genuine mediums are never artificial. Genuine mediums are
Okay,
never...
but are there non-genuine mediums
Of course
around?
there are. Of course there are non-genuine policemen.
OK,
There
so...
are non-genuine doctors. There are non-genuine sceptics.
OK, the
You're a
Louis...
non-genuine car salesman.
Exactly.
Let's come back to the Louis Armstrong
Yes,
that we
indeed.
saw there. I mean, because, again, to look at that in the face, people have a lot of trouble
Of course.
believing that.
Yes, of course. But the thing is that these sort of seances, you see, David Thompson, who's the medium in question, is the only medium in the world that demonstrates this publicly. Now, when I say publicly, all those people have to be vetted who are going to sit in that sort, because it's very dangerous for that medium.
Look, the power, if you're right, the sort of things that you can do. Say, for instance, why couldn't it be put to some use? Say where we have, say like a controversial trial, like we just had the Bain case. In theory, you should be able to contact people beyond the grave and find out what happened.
Why?
Because it would resolve a lot of things for people.
No. You see, you're going down the wrong track. The fact is that certain people have certain qualities, certain things, and well, they call them gifts, they're not, they're talents, that they can do in mediumship. I have a variety of talents, yes, but I could not and would not actually, from choice, do that sort of work, the people that hunt down killers.
Vicky, look, we know that they don't take a lot of money. This doesn't appear to be a money-making venture.
Take no money.
I come back to what is the
Apart
harm?
from the fact... OK, the harm is that not only do they take money at times, and in fact Ken says that he'll do exorcisms and arrange a fee in advance on his own website, but they also have psychological hold over their followers, and sometimes that can be downright dangerous, as we've seen with exorcism cases. Now, particularly recently, we know that at least 1,089 people have died of exorcisms in the last 10 years. This is part of the whole business and industry that's built up around it, whether you talk about the spiritualist church, whether you talk about psychics, whether you talk about the TV pablum that's put up there to
you are
exploit
talking
vulnerable
about
people, and that's the dangerous thing.
exorcism. And there's no such thing where I work.
I get it. Look, you've been through this
This is
numerous
all
times.
job demarcation.
I mean, and this is obviously we're not going to resolve. We're not going to resolve this tonight. But in terms of, but you firmly believe in what you do.
No, that's the difference. I don't believe I know. You know, you see, this lady's got a little learning. A little learning is a dangerous thing.
By the same token, I think Vicky is equally certain in terms of the studies that she has done that she has
she's not
issues
done
over
enough
this.
studies. She's never studied me.
Just put up the
All
proof.
right, listen.
Provide us.
The studies, I'm
yes,
afraid...
provide us with the proof.
The studies are going to have to continue. We may have another look at this. Thank you very much for your time, Ken.
Okay.
Vicky, thank you for coming in. Sorry we had to cut this so short.